Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel and to another video. It feels like I've been away for ages, and it probably hasn't been ages, but I'm really excited to be back filming. I kind of had a little bit of a break because I was kind of having a little bit of a crisis with my channel a little bit, but I think I'm back and I think I've got a plan of action. But this video is very exciting. I am going to be taking part in a month-long readathon, which I'm really excited about. And the readathon in question, if you haven't heard about it, where have you been if you've been living under a rock? It is Realmathon, which is hosted by the amazing Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. This is the 4th round of it, I think. Yeah. She's been doing it for 4 years, so this is the 4th round, and I am really excited. So there are 4 different teams and they've all got different co-hosts, and I have joined Team Stingers, which I'm really excited about. And our lovely co-hosts are Mel from Mel Lenore Reads and Katie from I Would Rather Be Reading. So I'll leave all of those lovely ladies' channels down below, and I'll pop Cassidy's announcement video with all the teams and all the information about the readathon. I don't think it's too late to sign up. I think there's still time. So for the whole, it's kicking off from the 1st of March right through to the end of March. So the whole month of March I will be taking part in Realmathon, which I'm so excited about. So the purpose of the readathon is we have 4 different teams. I've joined Team Stingers, and the aim of this is to read as much as you can. There are 15 prompts, positive points for defending your team, and then we also have 15 attacking points, so we can take points away from the other teams, which is, I think, is really fun. So we also have a couple of prompts, team prompts, where we can get extra points. So our 2 main team prompts will be a book from an author that we have read from previously, and our second prompt is a book that you think will have your next book boyfriend, girlfriend or partner. So I think the books that I picked out, I think will work definitely for those 2 prompts, and also the majority of the attacking and the team defending prompts. There's also a bonus prompt of reading a book with an urban setting, which also gives us an extra 10 points, and we can double up on prompts, but we can only do 5 prompts if it's attacking or defending. So we can't do, let's say, 1 attacking prompt and doubling up with 1 defending prompt. It's got to be from either attacking or defending. So hope that makes sense. As I said, I'll pop in Cassidy's announcement video with all the information if you still want to sign up, and she'll explain it a lot better than I can. But I have kind of broken up my TBR into categories, which I think will be a bit easier for me to show you guys. I have got a buddy reads section, so I do have a couple of buddy reads, one of them for my own book club, but I do have some buddy reads that I'm going to be taking part in as well, which I'm really excited about. And then I also have a kind of romance pile. So I definitely think March for me, spring's coming in. I definitely think for me it's going to be a lot of contemporary romance, which I think I'm definitely in the mood for now. Now it's going to be spring and winter is hopefully almost over it. It's still pretty cold here in Scotland at the moment, but I think March will be definitely a good time for me to get some contemporary romance, because I've definitely missed some contemporary romances actually. And then I've also got quite a lot of fantasy romance on there, which I think a majority of people in Team Stingers, I think there'll be quite a lot of romancy fans, fantasy readers, which I think will be really fun. I've also got a couple of horrors on there as well, which I'm really excited about. I definitely want to try and make a dent in my horror bingo board, because I've kind of neglected that a little bit. So I actually need to see what I have actually read and see what I've got left to read. So I might try and get to a couple of those in March if possible. So at the moment I currently have about 16 or 17 books on my TBR. I'm not pressuring myself to get to all of these, but this is just to give me a good scope of options, and hopefully will get me good points for Team Stingers. So without further ado, I've been rambling on for almost 5 minutes, so without further ado I'll talk you through my TBR and what prompts I'm thinking of I will use for each book. I'm not going to go into full synopsis of the books because we'll be here all day, so I'll just basically tell you what the book is and what prompts I'm thinking of using it for. So yeah, without further ado, let's talk you through my Realmathon TBR. Okay guys, so I'm going to talk you through my first category of books that I've got. So I do have a couple of buddy reads which I'm going to be taking part in. One of them I don't own physically, and so I'm going to talk about that one first, so while I've got it in my head. And the book in question is Wolf Song by TJ Klune. So myself and the lovely Kim from Uncomic Kim, she's also doing Realmathon, she's on Team Monarchs. Just saying, Kim. I'm joking. I'm only joking. So we, when she joined me on one of my recent sprints, we were chatting about TJ Klune because we had both read The Bones Beneath My Skin, and I had mentioned I hadn't read Wolf Song before and I really wanted to read it, and she also owns a copy of Wolf Song, so we decided to buddy read it, which I'm really, really excited about. So I will be able to get bonus team points for a book from an author that I've read from previously. I have read from TJ Klune before, which is exciting. I don't know about the book Boyfriend Girlfriend. Potentially I might get points for that. Also, when I read it, I don't know, but I think potentially I might get points for that as well. And I also forgot to mention we will be getting points for the amount of pages that we have as well, which is quite good. And Wolf Song I think is quite chunky, so I hope we should get a decent amount of points for that. So for I think I might do it for attacking. I think Katie had mentioned we can use it for the prompt of a book with an even amount of letters on the cover, so that would count. So Wolf Song by TJ Klune. I don't know a huge well, I don't know a lot about it, but I know it's queer, which is quite common for TJ Klune's books, and I think there's wolves. It's about wolves, and I think it's a queer romance that happens over the period of like years, I think. I'm not too sure, but I'm really, really excited about it. So actually I think what I'm going to do for this video, I'm just going to tell you what the books are, and I think as I go through the month of March, I think I will be doing weekly reading vlogs, so I'll tell you what prompts I'm going to use for each book, because I think I'll be here all day trying to pick out which prompts I'm going to use for the books. So I'm just going to tell you what the books are, to be honest. So Wolf Song I'm going to be reading with Kim, which I'm really, really, really excited about. Next up is a book that I am actually going to be reading for an in-person book club which I have joined, which I'm really, really excited about. So our first meeting will be on the 11th of March, so I do have a bit of time to read it, but I wanted to try and get to it nearer the date of the meetup. So I definitely think this will be one of the first books I read for Realmathon, for sure. And the book in question is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I really love this cover, it looks so much fun. I had never heard of this actually, and the concept is a little bit strange. It follows a woman whose husband has died, and I think it deals quite a lot with grief, and she's a night shift cleaner at the Sowell Bay Aquarium, and there's an octopus in the aquarium, and she ends up building a kind of friendship with the octopus, that I think she feels some connection, that she can share her grief with the octopus. I'm not too sure. It's quite strange. I don't know if anybody in the actual book club has started the book yet, so I don't know anybody's thoughts on it yet, but it's something a little bit different, so I'm really excited to give this a try. And again, I do love this cover, it's so cute and bright, but I think it does deal quite a lot with grief, so that will be interesting. So I'm definitely going to be obviously picking this up towards the start of March for Realmathon. I don't know what prompts I could use this for. Probably maybe attacking, I think, maybe. I'm not sure, but I am going to be reading this for my in-person book club, which I'm really, really, really excited about. Next up is a book that I'm actually taking part in a blog tour for, and that is Give Me Butterflies by Gillian Meadows. I love the cover of this one, it's so pretty, very spring. This one is for fans of Ali Hazelwood. It's another STEM romance, and we're following Millie, who is an entomologist. She works with insects, she's a curator at a museum, and Finn, who is her co-worker. It is enemies to lovers, I believe, and it sounds really cute. So my date to post for this, I think, will be the 29th of March, so towards the end of the month, I think. I'll need to double check that, obviously, but I'm really excited for it. And I'm not the biggest fan of Ali Hazelwood's STEM romances, but I think this one does sound a bit more up my street, so hopefully I have a better time with this one. But I do love the cover for this one, it's so, so pretty. Next up is actually a book I'm going to be reading for Cozy Corner Book Club, which is my own book club, and the lovely Laura from the Book Hermit is going to be my co-host for the month of March, and they will be joining me on a live show to chat about this book, and I'm really excited. It's a horror, and I've heard amazing things about it from Steph Loves. I know that she read this recently and gave it 5 stars, so I was desperate to read it, and I haven't read from this author before, so this is a totally new author to me, but I've heard such amazing things about this book, and it is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. I am beyond excited for this one. I was able to get an actual physical copy of this because for some reason I wasn't able to get hardback of it in the UK, so I got it off of Books Please, I think it was, or Sci-Fi. I can't remember. But this one, we're following a little girl called Bella, a chilling horror novel about a haunting told from the perspective of a young girl whose troubled family is targeted by an entity she calls Other Mummy. So it's, as it says, it follows an 8-year-old girl called Bella, and she has this entity in her bedroom, in her wardrobe, that's called Other Mummy, and Other Mummy wants to get inside Bella's heart, and she tells her no every single time. And I think as the book goes on, Other Mummy becomes quite frustrated, and she ends up actually coming out into the real world, and her parents are able to see her, her family are able to see her, and I think it's just going to get really, really creepy and intense. It kind of gives me Coraline vibes a little bit, but I'm so excited to chat with Laura about this on the live show. I can't wait to hear their opinion on the book as well. I think a lot of people in the book club are quite excited for this one, so I am really excited to get this on my TBR for Realmathon. So I don't know, I haven't read from Josh Malerman before. I know that they have written Bird Box, which is quite popular. So if I do enjoy this one, I might maybe give Bird Box a try. But yeah, it just sounds so good, and I think I'm gonna count this on my horror bingo board as well for a prompt to try and get through my horror bingo board, which I have very much neglected. So yeah, Incidents Around the House, I'm really, really excited for this one. Okay guys, and the last book buddy read that well, it's not technically a buddy read, but I am going to be reading it for Buzzwordathon, which is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, and the March prompt is to have the word thing in the title, so everything's things, something like that. So this book I've had on my shelves for a good while, and I have been avoiding it, and I haven't wanted to pick it up, but it's the only book that I physically own that has got the word thing in the title, so I'm gonna pick this one up, and it is The First Bright Thing by J.R. Dawson, and this is pitched for fans of the Night Circus and Caraval. I think it's about a circus. It is historical, kind of World War I time, and I don't know a huge amount about it. Let me see. The Circus of the Fantasticals. So I'm assuming it's going to be like very much like the Night Circus, Caraval, that kind of vibe. And it's not too long, to be honest, actually. So, and obviously it's got thing in the title, so I'll be able to count that for Buzzwordathon. And I think I should be able to get a prompt from Realmathon, because I know one of the prompts is an author to have a letter in their name, so J.R. Dawson, that would count for that prompt, so I'll be able to count it for that prompt, so I'll definitely get some points for it. But yeah, this is going to be my March book for Buzzwordathon, so at least I'll get that one ticked off as well. So those are all my kind of main buddy reads, so I'm going to talk you through some of the contemporary romances that I'm going to add onto this TBR. Okay, so my next category I've got a couple of books in is for contemporary/contemporary romance, and the first book I wanted to mention is actually a book that's on my 12 Books and 12 Friends list. The lovely Beatrice recommended this one, and it is Welcome to the Hunam Dong Bookshop. I think that's how you pronounce that. This has been very popular recently. It's a translated fiction, which is definitely out of my comfort zone. I've never really read a translated fiction book before, but I am quite interested in Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I think it's called. And this one we follow a woman who is not very happy with her life. She's got a good job, she's got a husband, and she ends up deciding to quit her career and follow in her dreams, and she opens up a bookshop. And in the quaint neighbourhood and Seoul surrounded by books, Yeonju, I don't know how you pronounce that, I do apologise, and her customers take refuge from the lonely barista to the unhappily married coffee roaster and the writer who sees something special in Yeongju. They all have disappointments in their past. The Hyunam bookshop becomes the place where they all learn to how to truly live. So I think it's going to be very much a healing type of fiction, and I think it's going to be like different characters or different stories and things like that. So that'll be interesting. I think I might save this for, there is going to be a kind of peace talks, which is like a little weekend mini readathon within Realmathon where we can get extra points for every book that we read. So I think because it's quite short, I think I'm going to save it for then. And I do love this cover. It's very, very cute, very kind of appropriate for springtime. So I'm really excited to get to that one. And then next up, I've got a new contemporary romance release, and I did mention that I'm not the biggest fan of Ali Hazelwood, but I have loved Checkmate and Bride, and this is one of her new contemporary romances, and that is Deep End. And this one follows a swimmer. Scarlett Vandermeer is swimming upstream, a junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specialises in platform diving. Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrating on getting into med school and recovering from the injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships, at least that's what she tells herself. Swim captain, world champion, all-round aquatics golden boy Lucas thrives on discipline. It's how he wins gold medals and breaks records, complete focus with every stroke. So it's following a swimmer and a diver, and I'm assuming, I don't know if it's any silvers or not. Scarlett realises that her heart might be treading into dangerous water, so it's quite chunky actually, but I have heard really good things about it, so I'm definitely going to enjoy getting to this one for Realmathon as well. Okay, next up, I've actually got the first book in a new series that's made it recently to my shelves. I've wanted to try this series for a long time because I've heard really, really good things about it. But the first book in the series is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This is the first book in the Off-Campus series, and I got the Illumicrate editions of this. And it looks really, really, really cute. So in this one, we're following Hannah Wells, and has finally found someone who turns her on. But while she might be confident in other areas of life, she's carrying around a full set of baggage when it comes to sex and seduction. If she wants to get her crush's attention, she'll have to step out of her comfort zone. So she ends up getting involved with Garrett, who kind of teaches her how to be good in the bedroom, essentially, and she ends up tutoring him because of his GPA, and he's failing his grades, and to be able to play hockey he needs to get his grades up, and now he just has to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. So it sounds really, really fun, and it's not too long either, so that this one could be another option again for the peace talks as well. And I do love this edition. It's really, really, really cute. And the final contemporary romance is the second book in the Love Like Farm series. I've been desperate to continue this on, but I was kind of saving it for when the season of the book that is set in. And the book in question is In the Weeds by B.K. Borison, and this is the spring book, I think. And this one we're following Evelyn, and we are also following Beckett. And Evelyn St. James isn't the kind of woman you forget. Beckett Porter certainly hasn't. One incredible weekend in Maine and he's officially a man distracted. So when she suddenly appears on his farm as part of a social media contest, he's confused. He's had no idea that the sweet and sexy woman he met at a bar is actually a global phenomenon, social media influencer Evelyn St. James. Feeling disconnected from her work and increasingly unhappy, Evelyn is trying to find her way back to something real. She returns to the last place she was happy, Love Like Farms, and the tiny town of Inglewild. It has nothing to do with the hot farmer she spent 2 incredible nights with, nothing at all. So it sounds really, really cute, and this edition, these are the Afterlight Illumicrate editions, and they just look so stunning. I mean, oh, so pretty. So I've been desperate to continue on this series because I really, really enjoyed Love Like Farms. So those are all the contemporary romance books that I want to get to. So I will now move on to some of the fantasy books that I'm really desperate to get to during Realmathon. Okay guys, so I'm now going to talk you through some of the fantasy books that I'm desperate to get to in the month of March. So at the moment, I'm actually currently reading Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and I'm currently 100 pages in, and I'm really, really, really enjoying it. So I think once I'm definitely going to get this finished in the next week or so, I definitely wanted to put on the next book in the Red Rising series, and that is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. Obviously I can't tell you anything about this one, but we're basically in Red Rising. We're following Darrow, who is a red. It's a class system kind of based on colour, so the reds are the lowest of the low. They are basically the workers that are trying to mine this substance on Mars. And the golds are basically the high top class, and they live in the life of luxury and things like that. And a situation happens with Darrow where he decides to disguise himself as a gold and infiltrate the golds and basically bring them down from the inside, because the Reds have been lied to their whole life about what they've actually been doing. And it's, so far I'm really enjoying it. So I wanted to add on Golden Sun, which is the second book, and it is quite chunky, so I think I'll definitely get decent points for this one. But I wanted to obviously mention that I was reading Red Rising, but I'm having a really good time with it so far. Next up is actually a horror, but it does have a little bit of fantasy in this, so I thought it would be okay to put it in this category. But I have been desperate to read this book ever since I got it in. I think Realmathon was definitely going to be the perfect time. And it is the new release from Grady Hendrix, Witchcraft Wayward Girls. I have been desperate to read this ever since I got it. And this one, we're following a group of girls who are called Wayward Girls, and they're basically young girls who have ended up in situations where they've gotten pregnant, and they're basically sent away to this boarding kind of house where they're basically looked after until they have the babies, and the babies end up getting adopted down the line. And we're following 15-year-old Fern, and it's set in the 1970s, and there is a little bit of kind of witchcraft and occult in this, and it does sound quite creepy. But I know Steph actually ended up DNF in this, but I know Barb, my lovely friend Barb from Barb's Bookland, has read this and she gave it 5 stars. So I think it's definitely a mixed bag of reviews. So I'm really hoping that I love this one. I really love Grady Hendrix's books. I've gave pretty much all of them 5 stars. And yeah, I've just been desperate to read this ever since I got it in. So I wanted to mention that on my TBR as well. Then next, there's the first book in a romance series I've been definitely in the mood to give a go, and it's been compared very much to Actor, so I think I'm definitely going to really enjoy this one, and it is Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Roerich, I think that's how you pronounce that. It's the first book in the Lady of Darkness series, and this one we're following Scarlet, who is she's owned by a ruthless assassin lord, and her 2 sisters are the most feared trio on the continent. They are wild and unpredictable until a tragic night finds Scarlet locked away in a noble's household until she's ready to fall into line. Finally, Scarlet is presented with a job. If she completes the assignment, her payment will be something she has coveted for 10 years. Revenge against the Fae Fire Prince, who brutally killed her mother 10 years ago. So that's kind of really all I want to know about it. But it is quite a chunky one, so I think I'll definitely get a decent amount of points for that one. And then next up, I have been desperate to continue the series, so I was saving this one for Realmathon. But this one is the second book in the Spark of the Everflame series, the Kindred Curse saga, and that is Glow of the Everflame. This one is a chunky boy. But I love Spark of the Everflame. It was the first book I read this year, and I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. And this one, we're following DM Ballatur. And I'm also not going to tell you the synopsis for this one because I don't want to spoil what happens at the end of the first book. But this one is fantasy romance. It's definitely going to be a slow burn romance, I think, which I'm really excited for. So I'll get extra points for a book that from an author I've read from previously, and also Book Boyfriend as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue on this one. The brighter the truth burns, the more it will reveal. So I'm so excited. And these covers are just so beautiful. And I really hope Philo eventually does like a special edition set of the series, because I would love to own a special edition of the series. So yeah, I'm just really excited to continue on with this series. Next up is a book I've had on several TBRs and I haven't managed to get to yet, but I think Realmathon, I think it's definitely going to be the month when I'm going to pick this one up, and it is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. This is compared to The Night Circus, Caraval, with a bit of Avatar thrown in there. Welcome to Phantasma. There are only 2 rules to the game: stay alive and don't fall in love. And in Phantasma, the only thing deadlier than losing the game is losing your heart. So I think there might be trials in here as well. It's more of a darker romance, I believe. But yeah, I'm really excited. And I think the second one is coming out this year, I believe, or it's already come out. So if I do enjoy it, I want to at least continue on with the series. But I'm really excited to get to this one. Then next up, I've been meaning to get to this one for a while since I got it, and it's quite short, so I think I might save this one for the peace talks as well. But this one is A Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan. This was a fairy romance pick, I believe, and it's a beautiful edition. I'm really love the edition. And this one it kind of gives me the vibes of A Fate Inked in Blood a little bit, kind of the wintry vibes. Magic is not dead, it's only sleeping, and it will take one ordinary girl with an extraordinary destiny to awaken it. There's dragons in here, I believe. The main character is called Tamsin. Raised in the glittering court alongside the princess, it's her duty to be punished for their misdeeds. Treated as part of the royal family, but also as the lowliest servant, Tamsin fits nowhere. So when she's tasked with the ultimate sacrifice of pretending to be one of the true royal princesses and marry Fel, the beast of the borderlands, son of the great dragon slayer, Tamsin accepts her fate, even if it means tricking the deadly warrior. So it's a arranged marriage, a little bit, and yeah, I mean, the main guy looks really cute. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I love the artwork on this. But yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a try. And then the final book that I am beyond excited to pick up this book. I've been saving it for Realmathon, and I know a lot of people in our team are going to be reading this. And the book in question is Quicksilver. Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I am desperate to read this. I can't believe I haven't read this yet. And this is on my 12 Books and 12 Friends list as well. And the lovely, my book bestie Kendra recommended this one. She was obsessed with this book, and I know a lot of people have read it and gave it 5 stars. So I am beyond excited to finally get to this one. And this is going to be the first book I pick up for Realmathon. And we're following our main character, Sirius, I think that's how you pronounce it. No one knows about the powers she possesses, or the fact she's been stealing from the Undying Queen's reservoirs for as long as she can remember. But a secret is like a knot. Sooner or later it is bound to come undone. When Sirius comes face to face with death himself, she inadvertently reopens gateway between realms and is transported to Euvelia, a land of ice and snow. The Fae have always been the stuff of myth and legend, of nightmares, but it turns out they're real, and Sirius has landed in the centre of a centuries-long conflict that might just get her killed. The first of her kind to enter Euvelia in over 1,000 years, Sirius mistakenly binds herself to Kingfisher, a handsome Fae warrior with an agenda of his own. He will use his power to protect his people no matter what it costs him or her. Death has the name. It is Kingfisher of the Aegean Gate. His past is murky, his attitude stinks, and he's the only way Sirius is going to make it home. So I am beyond excited for this book, and it is a chunker dunker, so I'll definitely get a good amount of points for this one. Do not touch the sword, do not turn the key, do not open the gate. So I'm just so excited. So those are all of the books. Oh, I think I'm going to add on Bloods and Steel by Helen Schaefer, I think that's how you pronounce it. Steph is hosting a read-along of the series in her Patreon, so I'm going to read that one as well. And that one is fantasy romance as well, I believe. It's the first book in a quartet, and I've been told that if I wanted to read Iron and Embers, which came in a Fairy Loot box, the Fairy Loot Romance box, that is a spin-off series from the original quartet, so you need to read that quartet before you read that book, which really annoys me when Fairy Loot do that, because I really want to read that book, but I can't read that until I've read the previous series, which is really annoying. So those are all the books that I'm going to be picking up in the month of March, and I am beyond excited. Okay guys, so that is my complete March TBR for Realmathon. And speaking of Realmathon, I ordered myself all 4 of the team bookmarks, which Cassidy has designed, and they just look so beautiful. So I've got Team Stingers. This is the Team Stingers one. Like, oh, so stunning. I mean, that foil is just gorgeous. So we've got Team Stingers. And then we've also got Team Stag, which is green and beautiful. And then we also have the Team Ravens. I love the pink and purple ombre on this one. And then lastly, we have Team Monarchs. This is my second favourite one. But yeah, I am Team Singer, so go Team Jellyfish. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys while I was chatting about Realmathon. So if you like this video, give me a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Let me know, guys, what team you're assigned to. If you're taking part in Realmathon, let me know some of your March TBR ideas. If you've got any other recommendations for me for Realmathon, if you're taking part in it for any of the prompts, do let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate that. But I will hopefully see you guys with some weekly vlogs during Realmathon, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I'm just really excited to try and get back into a routine of filming again and trying to do some weekly vlogs. It might not be the best things ever, but I'm got to get out of this mindset. Just film what you want and enjoy filming. And I love chatting about books with you guys. So I'm really hoping this year I really work on my channel a lot more. But yeah, if you liked this video, give me a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will hopefully see you guys throughout the month of March during Realmathon. I might do wholesome sprints in March, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, I will hopefully see you guys all very soon. Bye!